Have you ever heard of the bicycle test? It's quite simple actually, so stay with me. Without looking at any references or even thinking about it too deeply, draw a bicycle. You just need to add the frame, the pedals, and the chain. I want you to try it. Now, don't laugh at me, but this was my first attempt. So close, but alas, no cigar. You see, this is a classic example of what we call explanatory depth or illusion of explanatory depth. Look at me chatting rubbish. But this is when you think you understand something, but in reality you don't. And this is the case for many students who try the communication studies essay questions. So in this video, I'll talk about the top 7 essay questions asked on paper 2, definitely letting you know exactly what is expected of you so that you can improve your essay responses, separating you from that lot that gets you a grade 3 versus that grade 1 that you really want. You see, on January 18, 1983, there was this column in the Washington Post that had the quote plastered for everyone to see: "Everyone is entitled to his own opinion, but not to his own fact." In this particular question type that I'll talk about, you're required to give your own views or reaction on a certain idea or concept. And this essay question type is the one that asks you to comment. For example, if I said, consider the quote I just used earlier and comment on its effectiveness. Here, my question to you is, what do you think? And do you feel like the quote I used helped you to understand the point I was trying to make? You see, with the next question type, you can play judge, jury, and executioner with no judgment casted back on you. I mean, ironic, isn't it? But I digress. You see, with this particular question type, again, full power to judge or determine the value of a source or the information given. And this is called the evaluate type questions. And you often see this in module 1, where you're asked to evaluate the reliability of a source or the credibility of a source. Now here you can do something called a crap test, but I'll talk more about that in another video. But the essence here is that you're required to draw a conclusion. You're going to either say, yes, the source is A-okay and we can trust it, or you're going to say, no, like, no, we're not upon that, no, and we can't trust it. Now, the other question type is quite simple. It requires you to provide short, concise answers. For example, tell me why Mary had a little lamb without telling me that the lamb was as white as snow. I mean, these examples are so out of pocket, but you get what I'm saying, right? These question types are the ones that ask you to give, state, or even suggest. You'll see that I'll state that Mary had a little lamb, but I have no business explaining why it was white as snow or even wondering why it was had and not has. I mean, what happened to the lamb? No, this is only 100% fact unless the suggest type questions are paired with justify. If you're asked to justify a response, you need to give a reason or explanation for that response. This leads me to talk about the explain type questions. When you're asked to explain, you need to answer the questions what, how, and why. I like to think about it in the general sense as what exactly is your point, how is it true, and why does it work? Essentially, you need to make an idea or situation clear by describing it in detail and giving information on it. Now, I know I've been asking a lot of quick questions, but one more quick question. Can you look at the screen and identify the apple for me? You see, the identify type questions require you to extract relevant information from a stimulus. No explanation needed. Literally just find the answer and tell us what it is. Now, for the most popular question type, there is a key difference between this question type and the evaluate question type. And you might be doing this wrong. You might. This is the discuss question type. So you need to provide answers that relate or link concepts, but you don't necessarily have to draw a conclusion. No, don't get me wrong, don't misunderstand me. Your essay must have a conclusion, but what I mean is you don't necessarily have to choose a side. That's what I mean by you don't have to draw a conclusion. Now, if you want other possible question types, you can check the PDF by scanning the QR code or checking the description.